You told yourself this time was different. You told yourself this time was different. You weren't going to go there. You weren't going to let them in. But then they touched you. Then they looked at you that way. They said just enough of the right things. And the next thing you know, you're back in bed with someone who doesn't even treat you right. You feel powerful for a moment, then empty. It's not just about sex. It never has been. It's about trying to feel loved in the only way you think they'll accept you. So let's have a quick look at the psychology and let's get brutally honest. Sleeping with people who hurt you isn't about desire, it's about desperation. Not for sex, but for connection, for proof that you're wanted, for evidence that you still matter. Even when someone lies to you, ghosts you, treats you with disrespect, you say yes to sex because it feels like the only currency you've got left. You think, if I give them this, maybe they'll stay. If I give them this, maybe they'll see my worth. If I give them this, maybe I won't be abandoned again. But here's the hard truth. They already abandoned you. Emotionally, you're just using sex to pretend that it didn't happen. And the worst part, they know exactly what they're doing. They show up when it's convenient. They feed you just enough to keep you craving. They take what they want and then disappear again. And you're not making love. You're just relapsing. And the high never lasts. Sleeping with someone who hurts you is like drinking salt water. It looks like it will quench your thirst. It feels like the answer. It tastes like relief for a moment. The more you drink it, the more dehydrated you become. The more desperate you feel, the more it damages you from the inside out. Because it's not nourishing you, it's depleting you. And no matter how thirsty you are, you can't heal by swallowing what's destroying you. So let's have a look at the layers of how it's happening. This behaviour isn't about weakness, it's about wiring. Many people who keep sleeping with the wrong person carry a deep trauma thread that sounds like, if I give you enough, I'll finally be enough. If they want my body, I can still pretend they want me. And maybe this is the only way I get love. And often this started young. You learnt to overgive, to earn closeness, to equate physical access with emotional approval. Somewhere in your story you felt invisible unless you were being useful, desirable, pleasing, submissive. So now when someone mistreats you, you think you can win them back with sex. But here's the brutal truth. If someone only values your body, they don't value you. And every time you say yes to someone who's hurting you, you say no to the part of you that's screaming for self-respect. So let's look at some solutions as to how to break the pattern and reclaim your power. Firstly, stop confusing physical access with emotional intimacy. And let's be clear, just because someone touches you doesn't mean they see you. Just because they want your body doesn't mean they cherish your heart. Sex can be a doorway to connection, but it will also be a decoy. And ask yourself, do I seem more seen or more used afterwards? Then ask, am I doing this to feel wanted or to avoid being alone? Does this person show up outside the bedroom? If the answer is no, then sex isn't bringing you closer. It's buying you a delay from the truth. Then recognize the pattern, even when it feels like chemistry. When you keep sleeping with someone who hurts you, it often feels like a gravitational pull, but that pull isn't love. It's a wound reactivating itself. This is called a trauma bond, where your system gets addicted to the cycle of pain and temporary relief. Recognize it. Name it. Write down what happens every time. The build-up, the false hope, the sex, the crash, the shame. Once you see the loop, you can stop calling it passion. Then create a pre-boundary plan for moments of weakness. When they message you at midnight, when they say, I miss you, when your body wants comfort and your mind goes blank, have a plan. Write yourself a note, leave a voice memo, message a friend, pause the cycle. You don't need to be perfect, you just need one moment of clarity to break the pattern. Because your future doesn't need another apology, it needs a decision. Then Explore what you actually want without their presence. Remove them from the equation. If this person vanished tomorrow, what kind of connection would you crave? What kind of touch would feel safe? What kind of love would feel nourishing? Now ask, are you getting any of that here? Sex without alignment isn't just empty, it's expensive. You're spending your energy, dignity, and hope on someone who keeps giving you pain in return. Then, finally, rebuild your self-worth on the outside of the bedroom. And here's the final step, and the most important one. You are not your desirability. You are not only valuable when you're wanted. You are not only worthy when you're naked. You are not a product. You are not a transaction. Every time you withhold sex from someone who hasn't earned your presence, you teach your nervous system, I am more than my body. I am worth staying for. Real power isn't who you attract. It's in who you stop chasing. And in my closing comments, here's the most truth people avoid. You're not sleeping with them because you want to. You're sleeping with them because it's the only way you know how to feel chosen. But that isn't love. That is abandonment in disguise. You've turned sex into a survival mechanism. You're bargaining with your body, hoping it will unlock emotional closeness, hoping if you will give them what they want, maybe this time they'll give you what you need. But that deal was never real. They're not confused. They're not just bad at relationships. They're not complicated. They're just using you because you're allowing it. So let this be your line in the sand. If you want my body, you better be able to hold my heart. And if you can't, you don't get either. No more apologizing for wanting love. No more justifying disrespect because the sex is good. No more handing yourself over just to feel temporarily chosen. You are not a reward for someone's inconsistency. You are not an option for someone who makes you feel invisible. And you're not here to prove you're good enough in someone else's bed. You are here to be loved fully, honestly, wholly, with your clothes on and off, with your guard down and your heart safe. And that starts with saying, I will never again sleep with someone who makes me feel small.